All right, welcome back to Chai and Chat. I'm Zainab, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Dr. Sarosh. Here at Taskeen Wellness, we're all about creating spaces for real conversations on mental health, wellness, and what it truly means to be well. Today, we're especially excited because we have someone who has been a driving force in community advocacy and has also been incredibly engaged with us at Taskeen Wellness. Our guest, Ishrath, is a passionate and tireless advocate for families and youth in the Flemington and Thorncliffe Park communities. And we're so grateful to have her here today. Thank you, Ashrit, for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be with Dr. Sarisha and you, Zainab.
So, thank you for coming in, Ishrat, and talking to us. We were really inspired by your journey and your work that you have done in the community and continue to do in the Thorncliffe Park, Flemington Park community. And having known you for the past maybe 3 years now, it's been just a joy to get to know you. So it's really, it would be great to kind of hear from you how your journey began and how did you, and the decisions you made to come to the point where you are now with the work that you're doing in the community. So maybe we can start first with what are the type of things you're doing in the community.
It just most, always, I'm just involved with the most with newcomer woman and newcomer family because I was an immigrant here. I knew how it was difficult to get used to the country, to settle to the new country with different culture, especially in Toronto. We were so lucky. It was, as everybody knows, Toronto is diverse city, and you learn a lot about culture, different custom things. And I'm just involved with so many program like newcomer and especially with women with domestic violence and facing with mental health and senior and youths in Flemington and Thorncliffe community with other community grassroots leader to reaching out to those women, especially they're having a barrier with language, and we just anytime or and during COVID, I was very involved with food insecurity. Still, until now, I'm involved with food insecurity, and just if they have any question, regarding to the agency like Flemington Health Center or TNO other agency, just we just connect them to the agency. And for the most of them looking for job or those women, they don't have voice. We try to be their voice and to teach them because they are coming to the country, they can practice their right, they can stand for themselves
Right.
and right way. And most of time we have been trained from FHC and from your, especially from Tasking.
Mhm.
I was so lucky to have the opportunity to have those moments for more than I think 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. We had training from your program. It was amazing. I learned a lot, and every day we gaining, we learning new thing, and just I because I've been through so much. I want to be there for other.
Mhm.
If I can change, I can do anything for them. I will be there for them.
That's amazing. The generosity that you show with your work. And it sounds like you're really connecting people. You're recognizing what they're going through, and something important that you said, you give them, you become their voice until they can find their own voice, and you connect them to what they need. So in your work, it's called. There's a name for that, right? It's the ambassador, or is
Yep,
that?
I'm community health ambassador,
Yeah. Can
and
you
we
talk?
started that. I'm just, I'm employee of Flemington Health Center, We started that job after, during COVID, and then we are working on that. And then, my free time, I'm doing volunteer job for senior, especially those senior that are uh, vulnerable senior. They have, uh, just they are not feeling well, or they are, physical problem they have, or mental problem, or they don't have anyone to take care of them. They are single. Some of them, they don't have any sibling here in Canada. And every Wednesday, I'm just going to the that senior building and do some shopping, or if they need anything, sometimes listening to their story, to be like their own daughter or friend.
Mm.
And most of senior, they want to talk, they want to share their story with someone to listen to them, and very carefully, because we have to respect our older.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad what I'm doing on Wednesday. And
So some of the things that when you're working with people, it sounds like you're listening so intently to them, and you're you're gathering how they're feeling, and then you're reflecting back, and you're also respectful of where they came from, their culture, their background. So it's such a nice mix of your ability to be flexible and yet honor other people, and also bring in your learnings. So if you could tell us a little bit about what is it as an ambassador that you do in your work, what does it bring? What kind of things you bring to the table with the ambassador work?
no, we have most of time we have event, like even related to mental health, or even related to the festival, summer festival or Ramadan. We're going to have another event. Our event is coming during March. Is going to be in Ramadan. We invite whole we just invite resident from the Flemington and Thorncliffe for iftar. And sometimes we have like a workshop. Most of time is a workshop. And that workshop, it's workshop about healthy eating, especially for those people coming new here. And just we just teach them, they can do shopping, which kind of store they can do shopping, low cost and good quality, or can do price match. Or last week we had a vaccine clinic, and just for the youths, for their vaccine. We did it last Wednesday. I was in the school, and we did outreach to the community. And we had so many students that came over there to do the vaccine. And same thing, we have so many gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And those gathering can be related to the mental health or healthy eating, or and anything happen, or festival, or we had another guy. It was an event for like a mini series event. It was in the Thorncliffe. I was advocating, community resident to join the workshop. It was a very great and informative workshop to introduce, especially to those family that are new to this country, and they didn't have any clue about police, how they are working, how they can connect, they can be connect with police. And from a school, we invite school social worker. And so many of those women, honestly, they didn't know what's going on, and they learn a lot, about Canadian culture, school, rule and law in a school, how they can, some of parents, sending their kids, because it was first year, about their, how the kids, they can wear winter, clothes, or how they should have, layer of, these things, very simple, very important
Yeah.
to know how they can pack for kids lunch, how it is important they have, healthy lunch. and how if they are in sometime if they have any question they can ask, from social worker from school, and we connect them to the social worker with, phone number and police. And we had we had interpreter for the Urdu, we had for Pashtun and Farsi and
Nice,
Arabic.
nice,
Same time, it was like nine workshop.
nice. So it's really like sounds very practical, everyday things that you
Yeah,
almost welcoming them, helping them understand the new culture, things that immigrants struggle with. You're already thinking ahead of time and making them comfortable, and it seems so helpful for them, to have that. It sounds like that to me.
it was especially with police. It was so many things. Honestly, I some of them I didn't know police. It was telling to the parents how they should be careful with kids. They can be involved with the gang or things like that. If your kids coming home with, fancy clothes, you have to ask them where they get it, how they get it, and we have to be careful with our case kids, and and especially we have to trust to the police, especially in Thorncliffe and Flemington. We have those police, they are very friendly and kind, and always they are there for us if we have question. And it was a great experience for them. And they knew those police is like other, just like friend, neighbor. Whenever we have question or we are struggling, or especially these days lots of fraud and scam happen, and they taught them. It was a very, very informative
So
session.
it seems like lifting the barrier, like people are scared of the police or they don't trust the police
Yeah,
because
but
they come from. But now
yeah,
at
yes,
these community events, it seems start to build that trust so people can, police are part of a community partner, right? So they are there to,
yes,
rather than to make
yes.
people for you. One,
Especially, yes, especially for this from last week, we just, more than 2, 3 weeks, we just advocating today, just let them know you have to vote. Not you have to, this is your right. And it's good to, just pick somebody can do something good for your community. And, we just, we are coming from country, we didn't have that chance to practice our democracy. Honestly, Canada is one of the best country. We can, stand for ourselves and vote one of the democracy. We have right to do that. And I was, try my best to talk to those women and just, those people that have, citizenship. Enough is enough. You have to step out and do the vote.
yeah.
And
Well, a lot of advocacy, like you're advocating for them. What I was wondering was how, I know that at Taskeen you had some time where you had some experience, and there's a community of practice. There's also some seminars that you attended. Could you speak how that learning has come or has allowed you to connect more, or with people that have mental health issues?
yeah, one of the thing, I don't know you remember. I think you remember we had another workshop. It was last year, and it was from Taskeen, and we had 2, 3 event with Taskeen. We had, it was one. It was in Science Center. We had a one event in Science Center. Another one it was in the school, high school, my Karna's school. And then we had another one. It was in the Thorncliffe community. I was after that event. Angela was there, and I forget the name. One of the our your colleague. She was I forget her name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Rabia.
Rabia. She was and there, and then more than 5 and 6 women. They came to me. They told me it was first time we found out we have a mental health problem.
Mm,
And then first time we just learn how we living in home with husband and kids. with domestic violence. We couldn't, talk about that. We couldn't stand for our right, and we couldn't talk to anybody. We thought it's normal
Mm,
as somebody abusing you or husband or children, son, and then you are not able to speak out, to
mhm.
stand for yourself. And they those women thanking us and thanking Taskeen for bringing up that important issue about their right. And it's good to know because especially these days, everybody, so many people are struggling with mental health,
Yeah.
and they're not able to talk about that. And it is kind of workshop and event can teach them to know. And can they? I know for sure those mom coming from the family with two, three, or five, six kids, and they can help their own family. Each of us individually, if we help our family, I know it's going to.
It magnifies and multiplies the amount of.
Yeah, yeah, they can talk. And then they told me, they said, okay, I talked to my neighbor, I talked to my friend, how, mental health is important, how, being happy mommy is very important. Kids coming from a school to be ready to smile to your kids. And this thing, it was really, really good. And I hope we have more this kind of workshop and event for our community.
So that I think that's really heartwarming to hear because one of the main purposes of Taskeen is to start mental health conversations to break down the barriers because many places that immigrants come from we there those places I myself am from a place like that where we can't we it's not allowed, right, or it's not
Yes.
considered. So that's one of the things that is the aim for Taskeen. How has your experience been in the community of practice? When we get together once a month to discuss.
It
Um, I,
was it was it was awesome. It was wonderful. For myself, it was a great journey. Not because I'm just today I have a chance. I know it's talking. Always I was saying that, monthly, meeting with you and with your group. And it for me it was honestly learning journey. And then I use all those skill and tools, and then I use it for my community, those women there, because we have lots of women. Everybody knows we are coming from country, most of us we've been suppressed. We couldn't stand for ourselves, and everybody knows that. And this kind of just a monthly meeting, or especially monthly meeting for me, and it was a just like a university or college to learn and take away from you as a doctor. You have a great experience, you study, you work. And then I was taking all every month taking something very important with me and using those tools for the community and talking to those women. And it worked. And still we have so many women every week. We just facing with them, we just becoming our family, just telling them, okay, you're okay, you can go study, and you can go college, or first you can go English class or link to learn, and just at least you can take care of yourself. This is different country, you have the opportunity.
it's
And we
on
take.
taking those seeds and you're putting those seeds down and
Yeah,
people and then they can do the same thing for other women, right? And
yeah,
your journey is so impressive because you have the ambassador work, but then you've learned so much about mental health and you've beautifully brought it together, and just in a very nice way. And you make it look really easy to just listen to people attentively. Part of the mental health piece is listening and giving attention and really listening to not just the words, but what is the person really saying, right?
yeah, yes. Well, how you can sometimes if, because I was like before I was, just taking that, time to coming to the meeting, I was trying to advise somebody. My advice is totally different. I know how to talk to people, how to be careful and cautious, because word is coming from your mouth. Sometimes they can destroy somebody's life, especially those people facing with mental health. And I learn all those things one by one slowly, and then I'm very careful to talk to those people, facing with mental health, and very careful and cautious about that. I learned from those, meeting from you, and from the, from, social worker, and it's work because I didn't have that knowledge, and in that knowledge I just learned from
Mhm.
that those meeting, and especially training,
Yeah.
and to especially first thing I just heal myself, and then it's work for me. I said, oh my God, it's work for me. I know for sure it can work for other too, for those, especially for women, vulnerable women.
Yeah. It's amazing, gratifying work, but it also is very, very hard, emotionally hard work. Do you find yourself getting overwhelmed and emotional because you hear so much suffering about so
Yes,
much?
of course, as a human, sometimes our capacity is not, sometimes is not, they can't take everything. You are not able to take everything, and I just cry because so many things happened for me, especially I was here, ups and down,
Mhm.
losing job, taking back to, normal life, and especially you bring your children with you, and for kids coming to new country to learning new culture is not easy, and you have to be sometimes you have to be rock because your mom and you because you have the have the that being a mom is not easy, and you have to sometimes you have to be rock, sometimes you're not, and you can break like a shatter like a glass,
Mhm.
and it's not easy, and always I try my best, I put myself together to stand and take care of, especially take care of my mental health and take care of my children mental health, and I get the help, and it was great to I believe help is there, I should go there and take the help. Otherwise, I couldn't do by myself. I couldn't, be someone to manage everything same time. It wasn't easy, I get the help I needed. I
So
just called
many
friend.
people that are helpers that help people, they feel I can just give, 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 but I can't help myself. And what I hear from you is so good. There's such a good balance where you're not only helping people, you're also kind of aware of where you are, how you're struggling. You need, you're saying to yourself, I need to get help because you need to be there for your family. But before you could do that, you have to be well and healthy mentally and physically. So it's so amazing that you have that knowledge and insight about yourself.
Yeah, I learned from you, Dr. Sarush, and I learned from the training we had. I learned from others. You have to, especially if you're coming to a new country. I didn't know I'm just going to have so much. I will be tested. I will be struggling. I just, I didn't know that. I thought I'm coming to the country I was watching from TV and, everything going to be great. No, it
Mhm.
wasn't everything great. I try my best. I try my best to take something from all those things happen good and positive to my home, and try to make my home, my kids and my husband and my children enjoy the home, I made it, and now by my husband. I'm first by myself because my husband didn't come. I was alone here, and then I
Well,
try my best. Sometimes I was crying, honestly, Dr. Prusia, go outside
yourself
crying.
That's so brave. So you first came yourself, and then you
Yes. Yeah,
what?
my husband, yeah, he
wh-
didn't
How,
like it.
how did the decision to come here? How did that start?
I had my husband's support because without his support, I couldn't make it. You know, if you want to apply for a, Canadian status, it wasn't easy. It take me like more than 6 years to applying and take the Canadian, PR. And because of that, I had a life, everything. I was working. My husband, he was working. I had everything. I
What
was middle.
kind of
I
work?
was a teacher. Yeah, I was teacher. My husband, he was in study, and I was teaching in university. And then I had my small business, and beside teaching, I had a cooking class.
Mm.
And then I thought I'm not going to continue that life to scare every day. I was scared, not because I scared of myself. I was scared about my family, my kids. Yeah, because that country, it wasn't safe for me and for my kids.
Were there childhood in your childhood? There were people that you look up to that did
My
that.
mom, my mom, and my mom, she was, my dad, he was very quiet person, and my mom, she was very brave. She taught me to stand for myself. Always she was telling me, if you want to be successful woman, you have to build your life. You have to make something for yourself. You shouldn't ask your husband for money and your, economic way. And you women should have their own, you know, build their own life. They don't need to somebody to look after. And you have to do something as a woman and as a mom, and you don't need to seek somebody to give you money. Always she was saying me, Esha, you shouldn't put your hand to your husband pocket. You should make your own money, and you build your confidence. That's really important. And it was, honestly, I'm so glad to listen to her. My
Mm.
husband he never ever asked this thing, and he was supporting me too. And he was telling me,
Partner who can support a strong woman. Many men are actually they don't like that, right? Because
you don't want to be my mom always telling me, you don't need to be dependent to somebody. You
mm,
have to be independent to yourself. You have to do something for yourself. You're going to teach your kids and your children, they have to know you're a strong woman, and you have to have voice. And she was the one standing for all her brother and sister and her own way. And then I just learned from her.
and I'm sure your children are seeing you do.
Yeah, always they are telling me, Mom, and every day I have something to do for someone. Just if I'm not going out, I for sure I call my senior. I just today I called some of them, how you're doing. Or yesterday I was calling them, don't go out because walk side is slippery. Please, if you need anything, just call your kids, or if I can do something, I can do it for you. Don't go outside. Outside is not safe for you. Things like that, smaller. And
They're
then
little things, but they gather into big things. They become big things for people, right? These little
yes, yes.
caring. One of the things I wanted to touch upon, which is a very hard topic to talk about, but I know it's very much present in the community. There's been incidents of suicide.
Yes.
On the one hand, we're talking about starting conversations about mental health. And on the other hand, some people are feeling hopeless and they're ending up ending their life. Uh,
Yes.
How has that affected you? You're working in the community and you're facing some of these things.
It was breaking my heart. It was really, really sad to see someone take his own life because he thought he's not a good father and he's not a good provider. And same thing happened to one of our, it was close by my home here in my area. It was a girl. Same thing, she just jumped from
Mhm.
her, apartment. Same thing happened 2 months ago.
So
And
so many people losing hope.
Yes, because of lacking the
Bill.
job. Yeah, especially for I don't know because I'm facing more with immigrant people. They're coming here with lots of hope,
Mhm,
and I think we have to be for any of us if we have planned to leaving our country, we have to do our search, to ask normal people, not watching TV,
mhm,
and see how life is going to be. Are we able to continue live in Canada without any money for more than 2, 3 years?
mhm.
Without any, otherwise we shouldn't make this kind of decision.
Right.
Especially for women, they don't have enough money with kids, or it's not easy to see your own, people from your own community taking their life because of, economic or poverty.
It's
It's really hard.
yeah. Is there anything that you would want to say as a message to other people that are thinking about doing the kind of work that you do? Because I know some of people like you, they're so involved and they're so busy and they're so their heart is into it. And I wonder if a younger generation is being brought up to do the same type of amazing.
Yeah, yeah. What I can do, every this is my 5th year we're doing Ramadan meal project, and we just feeding like more than 1,000 people every month, more than, like 1,500 or sometimes 2,000 or something like that. And it's I know it's I every year if my husband and kids said, "Mom, stop," I said, "No, I have to do whenever it's going to take my time. I'm just healthy and I can do it." Why? Because I know for sure what this kind of, charity or work we are doing for community is coming back to our life.
Mhm,
You get, positive energy. It's good for your mental health. You take care of your community, take care of your friend, and they are becoming your own family. Why not? If we have time and we have to go out, we have to take somebody's in need to take their hand and help them. At least you can be, somebody to be, translate for someone, or you can make appointment for and, senior, or you can do grocery shopping. If it's okay if you're going to the market or supermarket to doing shopping for yourself, it's okay. You can do shopping for your senior or your friend. They don't have car, they are new here, they have kids. It's not
mhm.
easy winter time to walk to the store,
It
or,
takes a generousness of heart and also being able to put yourself in another person's experience and saying, what must they be feeling? Let me
yeah.
out, right?
It's a good, honestly, the Dr. Sarush is a good feeling. It's an amazing feeling to day after you're back home. Every time I'm back home and open the door, I said, "Oh, thank God, I did that for somebody." They are just every time you go to the community. I'm walking to the community. My husband always saying, "I don't come with you because I'm not." Same thing Amina told me. She said, "Ashad, I don't want to walk with you because, if 2, 3 people, hi Ashrad, how's everything, hold the community." I said, they know me, I know them. I'm just no, I came here, I didn't have anybody,
Mm,
just my husband and my 3 kids. Now I have like more than, maybe I can count it. Unbelievable. I know mom, I know most of people in both. I know them, and
but that must feel so good because you
yes.
it from a really sincere heart, right?
Yeah, yes, just, good feeling. I'm so glad. Allah gave me that opportunity. Honestly, that, I'm so lucky because of Allah gave me that opportunity to be there for the community, to take their hand, and they take my hand too. I'm supporting them, they are supporting me too. It's not, one way.
That's amazing. Um, Zainab, did you have any questions for Ishrat?
Yeah, I just had one, and I guess it's similar to the one that Dr. Sarosh had asked. But if you could go back and give yourself, who was younger, advice on starting this journey, what would you tell your younger self?
I just want to encourage them to be there for their, community, for their friend. And it's honestly, all those things, they can do it. Why not? And they can help them too. They can build their life and learn experience. And then for their life, for me, I was, very young. I learned all those things. Otherwise, I didn't have that ability to do this thing because and I just we have so many students here in our community. They are ready to do that, and sometimes they're scared. Don't be scared and go out. If somebody, somebody they are in the need, especially, you know, I'm just talking especially with senior or youths, their own age, and they don't have the confidence. Be there for them and take their hand and guide them. And I know for sure all those good things you're doing, it's coming back to you.
That's really good advice. I think the next generation, right? It's part of our purpose is also to help them become and be able to do the service for the community.
Yes, yeah, because our background, we as a Muslim, we learn from Rasul Akram to take care of your neighbor. It was, it's really important to know your neighbor. If there are, you shouldn't sleep without knowing your neighbor doesn't have food. You have to share your food with them.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. I know for sure all of us, we are doing, I'm not only one, we have so many men and women, and they are doing the best job for their community. And we want to have safe community to be safe and to be loved. And anytime you walk in the community, everybody looking at you, just smiling, to your face. That's a wonderful, wonderful
That's
experience.
of all, right? That's the
Yeah, it's good for your mental health if you don't, always, because we have people with anger and things. I'm just talking to them. Oh my God, why are you too angry today? You have to smile. I know all those anger is going away. You just think about something positive. Today you are here seeing me. Alhamdulillah, you're healthy. You can walk. You don't need somebody to take you to walk. You can walk by your own. See, those people have wheelchair, or they are not able to walk. They are not healthy. We have to be thankful what we have. We just see, using, simple word for them, and, we just give
yes,
them that energy.
power of being grateful and gratitude, right?
Yeah, gratitude. Yes,
Of little
yes,
things that are so big, right? Just being
yeah,
thankful. That's what I'm
yes,
doing, which
yes.
is brings more and more positive stuff.
Yeah,
You,
for sure. Especially these days, people facing with, difficulty because they don't have, job is not there, and rent and everything, economic, everything is not good. And we have to be there for each other, to support each other. I know for sure we will pass from this journey to difficult time. I promise everybody, I said, no worry, this time is going away. We have to be patient. We have to take care of each other, and it's coming good. Always you be positive, always good thing coming to you.
that's amazing. I really feel so good talking to you. It's like hearing such sincerity. Is
Thank
there
you so much.
anything you would want to say at the end of our discussion today?
I just want to thank you, my grandson is. I would just want to thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be part of your podcast, and I want to thank Zainab and you, Dr. Sarouche. And it was a great opportunity to talk to other and share my experience. And you can be positive, always thinking about positive thing, and I know Allah bring good thing to your life. That's it.
Thank you so much for being part of our podcast and
Thank you.
restart the community of practice. We're looking forward to having you back.
it would be my pleasure, and have a good night. Thank you, Zainab,
Thank you
and
so
take
much.
care.
Thank you so much. Take care. And that's the end of our podcast. Thank you everyone for joining Chai and Chat, and tune in with us next time.